Years had passed, and the sea continued to sing its ancient melodies, as ever-changing and powerful as the day Lira first heard it. She had grown into a wise and experienced guardian, known far and wide as the keeper of the song. The villagers, sailors, and even kings respected her, for she had brought peace to the waters and helped countless people. But Lira was growing older. Her once bright hair was now streaked with silver, her hands weathered by time and adventure. She knew deep within her heart that it was time to pass the golden conch and the responsibility of the Song of the Sea to someone new. The sea needed a new guardian, and the time had come for her to choose. But how could she make such a decision? Who could possibly carry the weight of this great responsibility? The sea was not something to control. It was something to protect, to understand, to respect. One crisp autumn morning, Lira stood on the cliffs overlooking the ocean. The waves crashed against the rocks below, the salty air filling her lungs. She held the golden conch in her hands, feeling the warmth of the song within. It had guided her for so long, but now the conch felt different, as though it too was ready to move on. Suddenly, the sea stirred in a way Lira hadn't felt in years. A gentle voice spoke in the wind, faint but clear, carried by the waves. The one who seeks without ambition, the one who listens without asking, the one whose heart sings with the sea. Lira smiled. The sea, as always, had its own mysterious wisdom. She would not find the next guardian by looking for power or greatness. Instead, she would listen to the sea, and the sea would guide her. Months passed as Lira traveled from village to village, listening to the people, feeling the rhythm of the tides, and searching for the one the sea had described. She met many people, brave sailors, wise elders, and even young dreamers who longed for adventure. But none of them were quite right. They all sought the conch for their own reasons, some out of ambition, some out of curiosity, and some out of fear. But the next guardian needed to be someone different, someone pure of heart. One stormy afternoon, Lira found herself in a small, remote fishing village at the edge of the world. The villagers lived simply, relying on the sea for their livelihood. The storms had been fierce lately, and many of the villagers were too afraid to fish in the treacherous waters. They whispered of strange disturbances beneath the waves, of something dark and ancient stirring in the depths. As Lira wandered through the village, she noticed a young girl, no older than 12, standing by the shore. She was barefoot, her long hair blowing wildly in the wind, her eyes fixed on the horizon. The girl didn't seem afraid of the storm. Instead, she looked as if she were listening, really listening to the ocean. Intrigued, Lira approached the girl. "What are you listening for?" she asked gently. The girl turned, surprised to see Lira. Her eyes were bright and clear, and there was something calm and wise about her, despite her youth. "I can hear the sea," the girl said softly. "It's sad. Something is wrong beneath the waves. I don't know what it is, but it's calling for help." Lira felt a chill run down her spine. The girl had heard it too. The cry of the sea, the same cry that Lira had once heard so long ago. This was no ordinary child. "What's your name?" Lira asked, kneeling beside her. "My name is Iris," the girl replied, her gaze returning to the waves. "I've always loved the sea. It speaks to me sometimes in ways I don't understand. I just listen." The simplicity and sincerity in Iris's words struck Lira deeply. This child was not seeking greatness or adventure. She was not afraid of the sea, nor did she wish to control it. She simply listened. Could this be the one the sea had spoken of? The one who seeks without ambition, who listens without asking? Lira decided to test Iris. She took her on a journey across the sea, much like the one she herself had once taken to the Golden Isles. Together they sailed through calm waters and rough seas, encountering challenges that tested Iris's courage, compassion, and wisdom. They passed through a terrible storm, where Iris remained calm, guiding the boat with an innate understanding of the ocean's rhythms. They encountered a school of dolphins trapped in a fishing net, and without hesitation, Iris dove into the water, working tirelessly to free them. And one night, when they camped on a distant shore, they heard the cries of a sea serpent trapped in a cave by falling rocks. Iris, without a second thought, risked her safety to help the creature escape, trusting that the sea would protect her. Through it all, Lira watched in quiet awe. Iris was everything the sea had described. She was brave, but not reckless. She was kind, but not naive. Most importantly, she listened, not just to the sea, but to the world around her. Finally, after many days at sea, they arrived at the Golden Isles. Lira led Iris to the tower where she had once retrieved the golden conch. As they stood at the base of the tower, Lira turned to the young girl. "Iris," she said, her voice full of emotion, "you have proven yourself to be wise beyond your years. The sea has chosen you just as it once chose me. You are the one who will carry the song of the sea forward." Iris looked up at Lira, wide-eyed and stunned. "Me? But I'm just a girl. I don't know anything about being a guardian." Lira smiled and placed the golden conch in Iris's hands. The sea doesn't choose based on knowledge or strength. It chooses based on heart. You listen, Iris. You care. That is what makes you worthy. For a long moment, Iris stared at the conch, feeling its weight and warmth in her hands. Then, slowly, she raised it to her lips and played the song of the sea. The melody was soft and pure, filled with wonder and mystery. As Iris played, the sea itself seemed to respond. The waves grew calm and the wind carried the song far and wide. It was as though the ocean recognized her, accepting her as its new guardian. Tears welled in Lira's eyes as she listened. She had found the one. The sea was in safe hands. Years later, Lira retired to her small cottage by the sea, content and at peace. She had passed the conch to the right person, and Iris had grown into a wise and capable guardian, guiding the waters with the same care and love Lira had shown. But Lira's story was not over. Sometimes she would sit by the shore, listening to the wind and the waves, and she would hear the song of the sea, carried on the breeze by her young successor. And in those moments, Lira knew that the sea would always be in good hands. The song would go on long after she was gone, and the world would continue to turn, guided by the music of the ocean. Iris, now a young woman, stood at the edge of a cliff, gazing out at the endless blue horizon. The golden conch was always by her side, but she used it sparingly, only when the sea truly needed her. She had learned, just as Lira had, that the sea had its own wisdom, and sometimes the best thing to do was simply to listen. One day, as Iris sat by the shore, she felt a familiar stirring in the air, a call, faint but insistent, carried on the wind. The sea was calling to her once more, and so, with the conch in hand and the song in her heart, Iris set off on her next adventure, ready to face whatever challenges the ocean would bring. And so ends the final chapter of Lira's story, and the beginning of Iris's. The torch has been passed, and the song of the sea continues to sing, carried by those who listen to its call.